I'm Joan Halifax, and I'm grateful to be here today with you. I was fortunate to encounter Thich Nhat Hanh in the mid-1960s. I was at Columbia University working in the Bureau of Applied Social Research, but also I was deeply involved in the civil rights and the anti-war movement of the 60s. And Thich Nhat Hanh had come to our country, to the United States, in order to ask us to stop bombing his country. And his words, his presence, his mindset, his determination, his peace really meant a lot to me, because I myself was suffering from anger toward my government, my country. "20 years later, I became Thai's formal student. In the interim, I had the opportunity to practice, be a book Buddhist, begin a Zen practice in a particular school of Zen. And then I had the good fortune to go to Plum Village in 1985 and spend time with Thai and Sister Chung Kong. It was at that time I invited Thai to the Ojai Foundation. We were wanting to bring together an exploration of what it was to be a peaceful culture. And I felt that Thich Nhat Hanh had so much to give in this regard. And so he came and talked deeply to us, practiced with us. And yet the irony of that first visit was that being in Southern California in a time of drought, fires were all around us. And I remember one morning going to the yurt where Thai was staying and walking with him slowly toward the teaching tree. It's an enormous oak tree under which we would sit and practice, and people would teach under that tree. And yet the challenge of that moment was so strange, because all around us, fires were burning. Smoke filled the air. Ashes were falling. And the roar of helicopters who were getting water for their tanks to deliver to the burning forests right above our heads, as they were coming from the fields below us on that mountain ridge. And I was holding Thai's hand, and I could feel him quake. And I looked at him, and I saw in his eyes deep discomfort. And he said to me, "I feel as though I'm back in my country and bombs are falling." And we paused and then continued to walk toward the teaching tree, that great oak. And he sat with us and gave a very powerful talk on being peace. So I'd like to share a meditation that I learned from him. I've done a slight modification of it, but it's one that has carried me through all these years. And we can begin this practice just by having our attention rest on the breath. the in-breath and the out-breath. And on the next in-breath, internally saying the word in, just allowing your attention to really rest on the inhale, in. And on the exhale, out. And the next inhale, deep. Out breath, slow. Calm. Ease. Smile. Release. Present moment. And on the out breath, only moment. And again, on the in and the out breath, just these simple words, repeating them to yourself. In, out, deep, slow. Calm, ease, smile, release. Present moment, only moment. Thank you for your practice. I feel such gratitude for everything that Thai gave to so many of us. And though he is no longer with us in physical form, his spirit and his great heart and wisdom, I think, will accompany me personally for the rest of my life and be a great friend to thousands. So whatever you can do and we can do to nourish his legacy, may we do it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Confino.
And I'm Brother Phap-Hu.
And we just wanted to wish you a really successful fundraiser this evening.
And what a wonderful condition to help create a practice center for so many of us to come and take refuge and to continue to learn from the teachings of Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Wherever you may be, if you can pause and allow yourself just to be still, but relaxingly, allow yourself to be aware of the body, whatever state it may be. If there's any stress, any tension, just allow yourself to be present and slowly let these muscles relax. Now let us bring our awareness to our breath. As I breathe in, I identify this is an in-breath. As I breathe out, I identify this is an out-breath. This is in-breath. This is out-breath. My mind may be wandering to the past or to the future or to a story, but allow it to ease. Allow yourself to just be with the breath. Let the mind gently come home to the body. Now breathing in, I follow my in-breath from the beginning to the end. And as I breathe out, I follow my out-breath from the beginning to the end. I am one with my breath. In, I am one with my out-breath. Out. Allowing myself to arrive deeper in my body. Allowing myself to arrive more in the present moment. Breathing in, I am in touch with life around me. Maybe there are sounds of the birds, sounds of people walking by. Just allow yourself to be present with life happening around you. But you are solid because you are home in the body and in the mind. Breathing in, life all around me. Breathing out, life inside of me. Breathing in, I enjoy this present moment where life is happening. Breathing out, this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I am grateful that I am alive. I have conditions to breathe. I can walk, I can stand, I can eat, I can see. How wonderful it is to just be alive. Breathing out, I smile to life with gratitude. In breath, how wonderful it is to be alive. Out breath, I smile to life.
Yeah, it's a privilege to play for you at Plum Village. And yeah, oh, so maybe we'll do that one now, maybe Walking Beauty. Yeah, I've been really touched by Thich Nhat Hanh, and we were talking last night about the walking meditation, and then this song came to mind, and this is the first time that it's been played. Yeah, I think so. May you walk in beauty, in beauty. May still those waters of your heart, and may you walk in beauty, in beauty. Again and again.
Hey, this is Lama Rod, and welcome to the Being Peace fundraiser. I would like to share just a short story about my practice and understanding, and actually early introduction to Thich Nhat Hanh's work. I began my practice in the early 2000s. I was in my early 20s, and I was living in an activist community. And one of the activities of community that I was living in was to run and organize a meals program for people experiencing houselessness, homelessness, for people living on lower incomes. And one of the things that we did, besides offering a food pantry, was to offer meals every day. So we had different times of the day where people could come and have some food, some freshly prepared food. And I was someone who loved and enjoyed cooking. And when I began my meditation practice during that time, I was really working with a lot of anger. And early in my practice, at the same time, I was also reading, everything that I could get my hands on. And so I started reading a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh's work. And I remember reading his work and his teaching around working with food and the transference of emotional energy into food. And I just remember how those teachings really changed how I understood practicing with food and how to disrupt the transference of negative emotions or negative energy into food. And that felt so liberating for me. And he taught how if we could bring the practice of awareness into working with food, then we could disrupt the ways in which that energy was transferred. into food. And that's a teaching that I have held and practiced for over 20 years. And on top of that, I have learned how to cultivate more positive mind frames and mindsets when working with food. And I understand the offering of food to be one of the most important offerings that we can offer others, because it is the offering of nourishment, of sustenance. It is something that I offer from my heart, and Thich Nhat Hanh really taught me how to honor what I feel like is a very sacred commitment to the practice of generosity, right? That I could experience whatever I was experiencing in the moment, be it anger or joy, right? But the practice was simply asking me to be aware, right? And to hold the space for those experiences. And then when I came to begin to prepare and offer food, that I just knew what I was experiencing, right? And that helped me from unconsciously or unintentionally offering this energy into food. And on top of that, this teaching really fit into Thich Nhat Hanh's dedication to justice, to social welfare, right? And living in an activist community that was centered around food justice. It really became one of my earliest introductions to engaged Buddhism. And down the road, that early engagement around socially engaged Buddhism, or through Thich Nhat Hanh's work, really was the foundation of the work that we were able to do around the creation and establishment of Radical Dharma. And I'm so deeply appreciative to the life, the teachings, and the legacy of Thich Nhat Hanh, and his teachings are teachings that I will continue to practice for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Hi, Charles. Thank you for joining us today. Charles has kindly agreed to contribute to our fundraiser festival for the Being Peace Project, which is aims to raise funds to actually build a Plum Village community within the UK. So thank you so very much, Charles, for agreeing to be part of it, for contributing and giving so much of yourself and your time. Really appreciate it.
It's my honor. Thank you for having me.
I'm part of Wake Up London, which is a community of young people that practice meditation in the tradition of Plum Village. And we meet every Saturday and practice together. And a lot of the time, the question that we have is, what makes a community, and how do we build a shared understanding of community? What might be some of its fundamental qualities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, when you gather for meditation and you sit together, you're actually already building community, because what community is, it is a group of people who know that they need each other in some way. And that could be because you need each other to survive, but it could also be because you need each other to create something together that you could not create on your own. And one of those things, meditation is very different, as I'm sure you know, when you're doing it alone by yourself in a room and when you're doing it with lots of other people. Together, you generate a field and you feel part of something more than just yourself. That is fundamental to community, the feeling that you're part of something more than just yourself. And when you experience that sitting with your group, then it awakens in you the desire for more of that, because you come more fully alive. Because in fact, the separate individual and the whole life surrounding that, and the independence, which depends on money, of that separate individual, that's actually not being fully alive. Life is about relationship. It's about being part of the totality of life. And so you gather with your friends, with your sangha, to meditate, and you have a taste of that. of that inclusion in a larger self that is not just the separate individual, but it's all of the relationships. In fact, the relationships are more elemental than the individual. And that's really what Thich Nhat Hanh meant by interbeing. That's what that phrase means. It's an understanding not only of interdependence, but of interexistence. If you are involved in a peace movement, and this is what this fundraiser is about, peace, which is pretty important in our time right now. That's how I first became attracted to Thich Nhat Hanh. When I read one of his early books, he became known in the United States as in the context of the Vietnam War, as a peace worker. And that's obviously, looking around the world, we're not done with that endeavor to bring peace. So really thank you for being on it.
And I know in your work you talk a little bit about the preciousness of all species and how we all contribute in some way to this world that we are built in. And I guess I also wondered around, do you see community as only referring and referencing human beings? Is it possible to have a community of human beings without taking the larger context in place? Because a lot of the time we talk about humans and human communities as if
I think that there's a useful, the word is useful when you're talking about a human society, but you can certainly expand it to an ecological community, which is woven into the human community. And in the larger community of life, it is also true that we need each other. That's what I said community is. It's that you need each other for something beyond just yourself. And in the case of the ecological community, what we need each other for is life, because life is what creates the conditions for life. And every living being, every species contributes to the aliveness of the whole, not just by being itself, but through its gifts. You take one species away from an ecosystem, and the ecosystem doesn't just become one species poorer. It becomes maybe many other species go extinct too, because there's a cascade. It becomes many species poorer. It becomes much poorer when any species is not available to give its gifts to the whole. And so that's what one way to look at the healing of the human relationship to Earth and the rest of life is to step into the realization that we too are here to contribute to the aliveness of the whole.
How do you see what the role of conflict is in the community, and how do you see it addressed in a way that kind of fits with this new story that we want to be part of, to create?
I could talk about different practices that different communities have to resolve conflict, but there's also another requirement that's not about the structures and the practices, which is that you have to care about something enough to make that ego sacrifice, to get along with people, to let go of the stories of they're the bad guy and I'm the good guy, and then I'm justified and they're inexcusable, and who's on my side and who's on their side. Like, at some point, every group is going to dissolve into infighting if those tendencies are running amok. You have to actually have the motivation to put those dramas aside and say, okay, maybe I am right and they're wrong, but we have to work together, because otherwise we're not going to have, the production will not go on. Once you have a community that has grown around one form of service to life, then you have the structures and the relationships that can be mobilized toward other kinds of service. So a place that has strong communities is going to be much more resilient to challenges.
Mm.
And when we do not have these structures, these ways of resolving conflicts, these habits of sharing and of collaboration and so forth, it's really hard to get anything done that needs to be done.
Mm.
And today, what needs to be done, is stopping World War III, bringing peace to places that do not know peace, and restoring the damage to the body of Earth,
Mm.
the waters and the soils and the trees and all of the beings that have been harmed. Like that's, if we gather in care for those things, then there's almost nothing that we can't achieve. None of the world's problems are technically difficult to solve. They're all caused by our stories and our lack of coherence.
Mm. I like that.
Even climate change, most of the cause is actually the destruction of ecosystems. And when people set their minds to healing ecosystems, it's incredible how fast that life is restored.
It's true. Yeah. And we have examples around the world of that happening, even during COVID, in which industries, certain industries were unable to function.
Right.
And that resurgence of life was amazing in pockets, indeed, but it was an amazing example of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles, very much for joining us and for sharing on topics that I guess are quite important, given that we want to build a community around the Being Peace Centre. Thank you for giving your time, and I guess good luck with everything that you're doing, and that we hope that a lot of people get to hear more about your work and to really get to be part of a community, whatever the communities in service of, as long as it's for the better of the world.
Yeah, thank you, Gabby. Very, very kind of you.
Greetings, dear friends, dear Sangha, dear Thai. How beautiful it is that I can be over here in Berkeley, California, and talking to you on this really auspicious day. And I'm just delighted to know that you're creating a practice center where you can come together and these teachings and these practices can come alive the way it does in Sangha and the way it does when we come together again and again in a place that is familiar, that we have created for just this purpose. So I could go on, but I know I'm here to sing and time is short. And I just wish you every blessing as you walk this path. And I'm honored to be invited to be with you and hope that I can continue to visit from time to time. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. May all beings be trusting. May all beings be kind. May all beings share all of this earth out beyond what is yours, what is mine. Let's sing it. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. feels so good to sing this, and I feel you singing. It's this mysterious thing, but it's true. I'd like to do the last verse again with you joining me, and I'll just give you the words. May all beings be trusting. May all beings be trusting, be kind. May all beings be kind, share all of the earth. May all beings share all of this earth, out beyond what is yours, what is mine. All together now. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so on earth. And amongst all of us, may we be blessed, may we be happy, may we be safe and free, may we weather the storms, and may we share this earth with all beings. May it be so. Thank you.
Dear Ty, dear beloved Being Peace Sangha and community, thank you for this opportunity this evening to offer a short meditation. I shall give a short self-description now. I'm a person in a male body of 53 years old. I have a white complexion. I wear black-rimmed glasses with a shaved head and shaved face. I wear brown monastic robes, and I'm seated in front of a deep red curtain behind me. So I invite you now to come back to a place of stillness, that place of comfort, familiarity, your preferred meditation position, whatever that may mean for you. Seated on the floor, on a cushion or on a stool. You may be seated on a chair that has legs or with wheels, or you may be lying down. Whichever position we find ourselves in, if we can keep as straight a spine as is comfortable to do so. And also throughout the meditation, you may wish to close your eyes if it is safe and also comfortable for you to do, or you may just like to offer a soft gaze in front of you. So as we slowly draw our attention further inwards, just resting it upon the natural rhythm of our breath. Just as the morning mist caresses the valley floor, we rest our attention on the natural rhythm of our breath, of our breathing pattern. I shall invite 3 sounds of a large bell to begin the meditation. And I shall offer a countdown, transitional countdown, around 4 minutes towards the end. And then we shall transition out of the meditation with 2 sounds of the large bell. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I rest my attention upon my body. Breathing out, I calm any movements in my body. Attention on body, calming body. Breathing in, I rest my attention upon my mind. Breathing out, I calm my mind. Attention on mind, calming mind. Breathing in, I recognize that mind and body inter are. Breathing out, I'm aware that consciousness of mind and body inter is. Mind and body inter are. Consciousness of mind and body inter is. Breathing in, I'm aware of the inclusive nature of mind and body. Breathing out, I recognize inclusiveness of consciousness. Inclusiveness of mind and body. Consciousness inclusive. Breathing in, I see that mind, body, and consciousness supporting each other. Breathing out, recognizing that I inter-am with all beings, supporting each other, inter-am with all. Breathing in, I vow to offer support to all beings. Breathing out, vowing to offer inclusiveness to all beings. Supporting all beings, inclusiveness for all. 2-minute transitional countdown. Breathing in, I feel solid in the present moment. Breathing out, feeling inclusive in this wonderful moment. Solidity in present moment, inclusive in this wonderful moment. So, dear friends, as we transition out of the guided meditation, I invite you to bring some gentle movement into the body, relieving any pressure that may have built up in our legs, in our arms, within our joints. So, dear friends, I hope that you have the opportunity to water your seeds of happiness, joy, peace, and inclusivity through your coming days. Be well, dear friends.